Hey guys, welcome to our review of the Samsung TU7000 TV. Before we get into the actual review, I wanted to ask you to please click the like and subscribe buttons below, as it really does help me out as a small channel. So first off, let's start out with the basic specs of this TV. The version I have here is a 65-inch model, but it comes in sizes all the way from 43 inches to 75 inches. The screen itself is 4K and has a refresh rate of only 60Hz, which is pretty standard but isn't the best for gaming. At less than $500 though, you can't expect too much. The cool thing is, even at this low price, you do get quite a lot for your money. The panel is great and the colors are pretty accurate too for this price range. That's the overview, but let's get into the specifics. You get Samsung's Tizen OS, which gives you pretty much all of the features you would expect on a modern smart TV and more, like compatibility with Google Assistant, Amazon Alexa, and even casting from Apple devices with AirPlay 2. On the software side, you get pretty much all the features you could want. The controls aren't the most responsive things in the world, but they're not so bad that you'd actually find them an issue. The only real downside of this TV is that the screen doesn't have some of the fancy features you might see on more expensive models. For example, this TV doesn't feature Samsung's QLED local dimming technologies, or high refresh rates, but most people wouldn't actually notice this in day-to-day watching. There is a weird situation though, where if you turn the picture completely black, the backlight will turn off, but if even one pixel is then told to turn on, it makes a distinguished shift and you can see the backlight turn on and off quite obviously, even though 99% of the panel should be remaining the same. I get why they do this as it technically improves the overall contrast ratio, but personally, I wish they had just left it on and not implemented this feature. Other than this though, the panel software really is great. That's where I think this TV really thrives, when normal people just need a TV for their living or bedrooms. This won't be the TV for the new Xbox Series X gamer who wants to run at 120 FPS or the movie watcher who wants to experience HDR in all its glory. But for everyday people who use this TV, it hits it out of the park. There are some annoyances though that I have noticed over my past few months of using it. My main annoyance is that when you unplug one of the HDMI devices, it completely forgets about it the next time you plug it in, and it goes through the whole initialization phase again, even though nothing has actually changed. This is annoying in and of itself, but the fact that it moves them all the way to the right on the taskbar makes it even worse, as it doesn't even show up where you left it. Other than this annoyance though, most of the apps work pretty well, and if you have a decent internet connection, you should have no issue streaming 4K content or music or whatever the app you're using is meant to do. Moving on to the more physical aspects of the TV, the display is very modern in its design, with slim bezels and minimalist stands. I will point out that these can be an issue as it may be too far apart for some TV stands, but other than this, they do their job well. They don't feature integrated cable channels like some of Samsung's higher-end offerings, but they do come with clips, which I guess does the same job well enough. The back of the TV does feature grooves which can be used to route cables along, which is a nice touch. The remote, though, is a huge step down from Samsung's higher-end offerings, and is actually one of the biggest disappointments for me about this TV. It comes with way too many buttons on it, and it uses infrared instead of radio, which I think adds to the unresponsiveness of the menu, but I'm not sure about that. The whole thing is bulky and looks straight out of the early 2000s. This wouldn't annoy me too much, but I know that Samsung knows how to make good remotes, and it just wouldn't have cost them that much to do a better job. The included speakers though are pretty good, and loud, and they do a good job of outputting clearly even at high volumes. They do seem to be tuned to emphasize vocals though, so don't expect to use them to listen to any bass-heavy music. Another drawback is that the back of the TV only has 2 HDMI inputs, which is fine for me, but some people may want more. For gamers, I think high refresh rate players should look elsewhere, but even for 4K gamers, I think that this TV is awesome, with its great VA panel type and low input lag. For other forms of content like normal TV watching and movies, I think that's where this TV really comes into its own. Its massive size for its price is a huge plus, and its brand gives you confidence that customer support will actually be helpful when there is an issue, and its online services will stay up to date. It technically does do HDR, but not really, so don't expect too much on that front. Overall though, it's a really great value, and if you can grab one on the current price, it's even better. I actually ended up liking it so much that I bought my girlfriend a 50-inch one for Christmas. But that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and feel free to support me by liking and subscribing. I'm a small channel, so every subscriber really helps. Thank you again, and feel free to check out some of my other videos if you're interested.